Welcome to Open Source Options. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can take these nice map layers we have and turn them into a map layout that is presentable and can be put in a document or shared with others really easily. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, first of all, I have this NDVI layer right here, the Normalized Difference Vegetation Index. It just shows vegetation greenness for this area. I'm just in the 2D view of QGIS and I want to make a nice static map that I could print out or I could share as an image or a PDF with someone else. The first step of doing this is creating a map layout. To do that, we go to Project and we create a new print layout here. And now I'm going to call this, I'm just going to call it Map Layout 1. You can name it whatever you like. And we'll say OK. Now this brings us an empty map layout. As you can see, there's nothing here. And this might be a little confusing at first, but there are a lot of options here for adding maps and explanatory information. So let's go ahead and show you how you can do that. So first, I want to just add that NDVI image in. I can do that really easily. I can come here and click on this button here, which is the Add Map button. If I click on this, my cursor changes, and now I can click and drag, and in this area, it will add the map layers. If you come back here and click on this tool here, which is our Select or Move tool, we can now resize this. So let's say I wanted to put it here, I could do that. I could put it whatever size I would like it to be. I'm going to just have this map take up the entire screen right now. And once I have it here, now I want to adjust the extent. I don't want it to look like this. I want to have the NDVI filling the entire map. And the easiest way to do this is there are two ways. I'll show you the first one, is to use Move Item Content, this button here. And now I can move and pan the map around. And if I use my scroll wheel to zoom in, it zooms in on the map instead of on the page. And if I hold down Control while I use the mouse scroll wheel, it zooms in at smaller increments. Now, if I go to Item Properties, you'll see here it has Map 1 at the top. I can come here and I can click Interactively Edit the map extent. So if I click on that, once again, it's the same tool and I can drag around. I'm going to zoom in until this fills the entire map canvas. I'm just going to keep zooming and panning until I get it about where I want it. And that right there looks good to me. Now notice I want this to fill the whole page and I have a little bit of white down here, so I'll just go back to my move and resize and select tool and drag that down. There we go. Now I have the area I'm interested in covering the page. There are some other elements I may want to add, such as a north arrow. I can come over here and I can click on the add north arrow, come down and drag a box for the north arrow. Once I have that, I can come in and I can choose different options. Down here, you'll notice this imports as a picture, and I can come down to my SVG browser and I can choose a different arrow if I would like. And you can see the selection of arrows that are available to choose from here. I'm going to keep the default arrow. I think that one looks best. Slide this right down to the corner there. And now I may want to add a scale bar to show the relative size of things in this map. That is also very easy to do by clicking on Add Scale Bar, and I can come down and just click and drag where I want that scale bar to show up. Now there are some styling options for this scale bar that we can control its length and appearance. So let's go over here into our scale bar. Now, if I ever get the wrong thing, I can get back to my scale bar settings by clicking on the scale bar with my select and move tool. The first property is which map this is assigned to. We only have one map, so it's assigned to map 1. We have different options. We have a single box, we have a double box, we have ticks in the middle, we have ticks up, ticks down, stepped line, hollow, numeric, Let's go ahead and select the line ticks up. And now we can come down and change our units if we would like. We can make this meters. We'll keep it at kilometers for this example. Okay, now we can adjust our segments. So here you'll see that we have 0 left segments and 2 right segments. I can make this 3. I can make this 1. I can just adjust the length of the scale bar in that way. I can also adjust the way the segments are created. Right now it's 7.5 units. I can make this 5 units. You'll notice how that goes 510 now. I can fit the segment to the width of the bar. So I can scale this, maybe. Oh, we can fit the segment width to a specific width. And so we can make this, say, 10 millimeters. And we can make this 50. And you can see that as we do that, it adjusts if we want to have a fixed width or a fixed segment width. Here, I'm just going to do a fixed width in units. I like this a little better. We can do 3 and 1, and that will give us an idea of what that looks like there. Okay, so now we have our scale bar. I'm going to change the size here so it's more compact. And we can adjust the number of subdivisions like this. So we can have those ticks in below or in between the positions, right? So now we have that scale bar on there. The next thing we might need for our map is a title. Let's go ahead and come in and add a title. We can do that with the text or label button here. Click on that. Let's go ahead and drag it across the top. And now we can come over to our main properties and add some text here. We'll call this make a map layout. You'll notice that text is very small. We can come down and adjust the font here. So we can change our font size to 28 or even larger. Make it 48. Let's even go, oops, adjust this. Let's make it perhaps 62. There we go. There's a nice big bold font. We can change the color to whatever we would like here. I'll keep it black. We have the full color options here. We can look at recent fonts. We can configure the formatting. If we click on that, it opens a new label here. And we have options to make this bold or regular, depending on the font. There may be italics as well. And we can also have options for underline or strike through. We'll turn both of those off in this instance. Italic is not an option with this font. We can change the font to whatever we like here. There are many fonts. This will depend a little bit on the computer that you have and which fonts are installed. We will keep the default for now. We can even adjust the opacity here and bring that down to make that slightly transparent if we would like. There are additional settings here. We can change our typecase to all uppercase or to small caps, all caps, title case. We have a lot of different options here. We can adjust our spacing and our stretch and all these different things. We can make our text vertical. We're going to make it horizontal though. And then we also have the options for buffering around the text. We want to have some kind of outline there like this. And we can adjust this a little more if we like. Well, let's make this 2. We can see we now have that white outline around our text. We can give it a background if we like. I'm not going to give it a background here. And then we can also add a drop shadow if we like. So there you can see there are a lot of different things we can do here to style this. Now, that looks pretty good. I'm going to use my move and size tool to just slide this down to the width of my text. And now I want to center this on the map. So what I can do is click here and I can come to my align selected items and we can align them center. Oops. We need to select all the items. So if we select all these items, oops, I want to select all of them. We want to select the map and the map layout, and we can align these center, and that will center it on the map. And now our title is centered right on top of that map. All right. So we're coming pretty far here. We've got a nice title, we've got a scale bar, a north arrow. Let's go ahead and add in a legend. And we can do that here with our add legend button. Let's go ahead and just draw this legend here. And you can see here that this doesn't look super great. It looks really plain. We can do a little bit to change this up here. So now, if we come over in the legend tab here, we can turn off auto update and we can remove this layer that's not even shown just by clicking the minus button here. Now, that was really simple to do. The legend looks better already. However, it'd be nice if we could rename this and get rid of this band 1 gray here. So there are a couple things we can do. If we double click here, we can change the label and we can call this NDVI. And that gets rid of that. But the text is still really small. So let's go ahead and adjust the fonts and text formatting. And this, it might take us a minute to figure this out. I believe this is going to be a group heading. And let's just see if this does anything. I think we're not a group heading, but we might be oh, we're an item label. That's what it should be, is an item label here. So if we come here and we resize this, oh, that's the band 1, so we can resize that. Let's go to the subgroup headings, and this should be what we're looking for. So we can up that to size 16 maybe, and there we go, we have that. All right, so now let's see if we can perhaps adjust the band 1 gray option there. So to get rid of band 1 gray, we can just come here to our legend item, double click here, and we can remove that text. And now we can head back. Oops, it didn't go away. It doesn't want to go away. So let's see what we can do here. So we can just we can name this value if we would like. I don't know why it won't let us just get rid of it. We could name this NDVI and come back here. We can name it NDVI value, and then we can come back and adjust our legend here some more. So now that we have that, let's go check out the symbol, and we can adjust the symbol size and width. And so we have the option to have a stroke for our raster symbols. We can make this symbol height. You can see it's only 4 here. Let's see if we make this 20 or 25. Then that stretches it out more and gives us a lot more range on our NDVI scale there. Now let's go ahead and adjust these numbers. They're very small. We don't want to have those larger to make them easier to read. And we do that here with our item labels. We'll just adjust this font. We put those up to 15. And now we may want to adjust the subgroup heading so it's larger as well. Make it size 18, and we'll leave it like that. Okay, so we've successfully formatted that. There may be some other things we'd want to do here. And we can double click on these properties to adjust some more of these that we've already seen. And we can also adjust these over in our layer styling panel to make that show up in our legend. Let's just grab this legend and move it over to a different location, maybe here. And there's one more thing I want to do here. Let's get rid of those legend items and the symbol. I want to add a frame to it so that it has a border around it. And that's a good thickness. So you can see that I just added this frame here by checking the box, and I gave it a thickness. I can adjust the color and the join style, but I like it like that. Okay, so now we have our map layout with our legend, a scale bar, and our north arrow. That's a very basic map layout, but it should get you started in QGIS. Stay tuned for the next video where I'll show you how you can add a location map or a locator map to this map layout. Thanks for watching. If you want more courses and free material, go to opensourceoptions.com. Coming soon, we'll have some free courses, free professional courses. You can sign up for the email list to be notified when those come out.